Hi, this is Lloyd Lester, and welcome to this Ejaculation by Command special presentation. Over the past few years, I've been answering every single question that I received relating to premature ejaculation, and when I recently gave my subscribers the opportunity to ask me any question about lasting longer in bed, they responded quickly. The questions just poured in, and they were very good questions. And as I read through each and every one of them, I noticed certain questions kept popping up over and over again. These were obviously hot topics, things that every guy seems to want to know about. So, I've decided to answer the top 10 questions in this presentation. Now, I'm going to keep this as brief as possible while giving you a lot of tips and ideas and my answers to your questions. I promise you'll find it helpful, informative, and eye-opening. So, let's go ahead and dive right in. Question number 1 is, what exactly is premature ejaculation, and how do I know if I have it? Premature ejaculation is commonly defined as an ejaculation within 2 minutes into intercourse. In fact, some men are prone to ejaculating as soon as penetration occurs, or within a few seconds. While 2 minutes is a common benchmark, the crux of the issue goes beyond just relying on a specific duration. A man has premature ejaculation if he cannot last long enough to satisfy his partner. Every relationship is unique, so what is long enough for one couple may not be sufficient for another. What you should also understand is this: because it takes women more time to get aroused, your ability to last long enough will increase the chances of you giving her a vaginal orgasm during intercourse. Between 30 to 40% of men suffer from early ejaculation. So if you're finishing too fast right now, rest assured you are not alone. In fact, most men will experience early ejaculation at least a few times in their lives. Now, let's move on to question number 2. Why do I ejaculate too soon? There are a few factors that cause early ejaculation, but the most common is due to a man's inability to recognize the sensations that precede an ejaculation, and then associate those sensations with specific benchmarks along his arousal curve when he still has control. Once you become familiar with your ejaculatory threshold, you can learn when to stop stimulation or to allow yourself to slide back down the arousal curve before resuming stimulation again. Premature ejaculation often takes place in 2 ways. 1, when our partners initiate sexual stimulation, or 2, when we become overly aroused and any extra friction or movement of our penis pushes us beyond the point of no return. The key to enhancing your ejaculatory control thus has 2 facets. First, recognizing and then communicating to your partner when you are about to ejaculate so that she can stop stimulation immediately. And second, knowing when your arousal has subsided enough that you can start penetration again. There are specific, powerful exercises you can practice with your partner that will train you to consciously recognize 2 things: when you're about to climax yet can still stop it from occurring, and when you have reached the point of no return. These 2 benchmarks have particular sensations that you need to learn to recognize. Once you are able to identify both benchmarks, practice moving the first benchmark closer to the second, which is your ejaculatory trigger point. With some practice and awareness, you will be able to place the 2 benchmarks side by side. This will intensify your pleasure while giving you complete control over your orgasm. Alright, question number 3. How long should sex last ideally? The straight answer? As long as it takes for your partner to reach an orgasm first. Unlike most men, women are biologically wired to respond very slowly to physical sexual stimulation. Many studies have revealed that women find penetrative sex that lasts from 3 to 7 minutes to be satisfactory, and 8 to 13 minutes to be the most desirable. That is the typical amount of time most women need to get from arousal to orgasm during intercourse. So, if you want to have desirable sex, you should be lasting at least 8 minutes. And this poses a real challenge for the vast majority of men. But here's the simple truth: great sex does not involve a stopwatch. Many men are so preoccupied about not wanting to climax too soon that they ended up doing exactly what they fear most. Sexual anxiety will almost always affect your performance in bed. Now, the next question is one of those that I get very frequently. Why do I have a problem with lasting longer when I'm with a partner, but not when I'm masturbating? There are 2 reasons why premature ejaculation does not usually happen when we masturbate. Firstly, we do not become as highly aroused during self-stimulation. But secondly, because we are the ones providing the stimulation, we also have the ability to self-regulate how much pleasure we are giving ourselves. Hence, we are able to readjust our movements based on what we feel to keep our arousal under control, until we decide it's time to release and enjoy an orgasm. When we hand over the reins of stimulation to our wives or girlfriends, we lose the capacity to control what happens through our internal feedback. To overcome this, you need to train or condition your brain to be consciously aware of what is happening, and not to become completely lost in the moment of sexual bliss. This will give you timely signals to tell your partner to temporarily stop the stimulation, sooner rather than later. This form of partner feedback is important and will help you gain better control when practiced over a period of time. Alright, moving on to question number 5. Do I need to seek medical help if I have premature ejaculation? If you or your partner are greatly affected by your persistent early ejaculation, it might be wise to seek a medical opinion. Your doctor would be in a good position to advise you on an appropriate treatment. That said, if you are experiencing premature ejaculation only occasionally, there's no real cause for concern. The good news is, most cases of premature ejaculation can be completely and permanently overcome on your own, without medical or professional intervention. There are specific tips, techniques, and strategies that are very effective in rewriting your ejaculatory reflexes so that you can delay an orgasm until both you and your partner are sexually satisfied. These techniques usually adopt a two-pronged approach of reprogramming your mind and body. For instance, through cognitive or mental exercises that help you gain control over your arousal, and physical routines that strengthen the core muscles responsible for ejaculatory control. Moving on, question number 6. Are pills, numbing sprays, or even mind distraction techniques useful for lasting longer? Well, look, premature ejaculation is not a disease. It's mostly a condition caused by psychological factors, such as stress and performance anxiety. As such, most topical anesthetics such as numbing sprays, gels, and creams that claim to treat premature ejaculation hardly produce permanent results. These can help delay an orgasm, but they also cause a loss of sensation in the penis. As a result, you probably won't enjoy sex as much. What's worse is that desensitizing sprays and gels can rub off onto the vagina and numb your partner during sex too. A better solution is to practice relaxation techniques and pelvic muscle exercises that will help your body handle greater levels of sexual stimulation and naturally delay ejaculation. Now, what about stamina pills that promise you hours of sex? Well, oral supplements, particularly a group of drugs known as selective serotonin reuptake inhibitors, or SSRIs, can give you more endurance in bed. These pills help to increase the amount of serotonin hormones in your body, which delays ejaculation. The downside is this is not a permanent solution and can get expensive after a while. Also, many of these supplements are off-label for treating premature ejaculation, meaning they have not been medically approved to treat the condition. In fact, the key ingredients present in stamina pills are primarily used to treat people suffering from depression. On the other hand, some guys who suffer from premature ejaculation try to distract themselves during sex. There is a belief that by directing your thoughts to other non-sexual things, they can trick themselves into lasting longer. Truth or myth? I'd love to believe it's a myth. In fact, distracting yourself during sex can make things worse. In the grand scheme of things, sex becomes less pleasurable. Now, let's take a look at question number 7. What are PC muscles, and how do they affect ejaculation control? The PC, or pubococcygis muscles, are located in the pelvic floor, between the anus and the testes. You can't really see them on the outside, but it's more important to learn how to feel the PC muscles from the inside. To identify where your PC muscles are, do this. When you are urinating, try stopping the flow. You will sense the area in between your anus and testes that contracts inwards. These are the muscles you want to toughen up. When you are nearing ejaculation, the PC muscles will become tense and start to contract rhythmically and involuntarily. If these muscles are not strong, premature ejaculation will almost always occur. Having strong PC muscles will give you the ability to control and completely relax them at will. When these muscles are completely relaxed, ejaculation will not take place. The great thing is, your PC muscles can be significantly strengthened using simple PC contraction exercises. There are different variations of these exercises, and the most basic ones involve simple contraction and relaxation techniques, while the advanced routines involve more rhythmic and protracted contractions. Now, moving on, question number 8. Are there positions that will help me last longer in bed? The positions you use during sex have a great impact on how long you last. You see, some positions put a great deal of stress on your muscles to support your body during thrusting. Your muscles will tend to flex, and this inevitably causes an early ejaculation for men who do not have adequate control. One way to last longer is to simply switch to a position that is more passive and helps your muscles relax, and at the same time, make sexual stimulation less intense for you. Here, I'll share one simple maneuver that will give you more staying power, and at the same time, give your partner a lot more pleasure. I call it the passion incubator. You'll soon know why. Did you know that women are extremely aroused by slow, penetrative movements that are a little deeper? No, you don't need a large penis to achieve that. This maneuver is best performed in the missionary position. Although this can be a tricky position for lasting longer, tweaking this position can make all the difference to your sexual stamina. Here's what you do. Embrace your hips with her, and instead of direct thrusting, try gradually pushing deeper inside. Stroke the upper walls of her vaginal entrance using the head of your penis. As you penetrate deeper, don't just push your penis in, but allow your whole body to move towards her. This helps to diffuse the stimulation to your penis and at the same time encourages greater intimacy. While you're at it, allow your breathing to synchronize with your movements. Rock with her and share your breathing. Having sex using such harmonious movements can be an amazing experience. It also helps you focus in the moment and not on your tendency to finish early. This is how you incubate her passions, prime her for an orgasm of epic proportions, and start lasting longer than you normally do. As you'll soon see, there are various approaches that will help improve your stamina. For example, learning how your body responds to sexual stimulation, and practicing specific physical and cognitive exercises to improve ejaculatory control, or leveraging on breathing techniques and relaxation methods to enhance stamina control. It's not enough that you know what to do. You need to know how to do it. You need to understand which works best and how best to make it work for you. Now, before we move on to the final 2 questions, including the best way to overcome premature ejaculation permanently, let me take just a moment to introduce you to something